Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, August 20th, and it is that time of year where I will be sounding a little hoarse or congested. That is because it is the fall algae season, so my allergies this time of year usually is a nasal issue that causes like a postnasal drip, which causes throat irritation. It is something I've lived with for 40 to 45 years since my mid to early teens. So yeah, 45 years ago. It all started when we got back from Germany and moved to Arizona, surprisingly enough. But that's part of my history. I haven't done any videos in a long time about my past, so it's kind of like my brain is telling me to tell you to this stuff, but I'm also going, didn't I talk about this before in my earlier videos when I first started doing this? I can't remember. I don't know. But anyhow, it is the way things have been lately. I also sound a little tired. I just realized that. I'm not really tired. It's just I guess the word I would use is subdued. No, that's not even the word I'd use. I guess mellow. I'm just feeling mellow lately. It's been an interesting couple days. We got back to late Tuesday night. I don't even know why we got back so early, besides the fact of that we didn't really have the money to stay a second night in a hotel on our way home. So we just drove from Allen, Texas, which is the hotel we stayed in the first night, to here. And it took longer than we thought it was going to because of, road construction here in Missouri and just having to take breaks. But yesterday I did my first Cook With Me video from the Nordic Way book, which is what I keep on looking at over here. And I've a couple of you asked for the recipe for that chicken salad. Well, I had forgotten to put in the description book with yesterday's video. I'm sorry, I was trying to fight that. And I realized, oh yeah, I should try to put it down in the description box. I'm gonna hold up the book to the camera for a second so you guys can see it, but I will actually write out the instructions and whatnot. But let's see here. You guys might be able to pause and zoom in on that. Oh, wait a minute. That was breakfast. I'm sorry. That was the breakfast that I made that morning. Sorry, I didn't realize what page I was on. But yeah, that was one. There's a freebie recipe right there for you, breakfast. Joanna is better at these things than I am, but I try my hand from time to time just to... Sorry if I'm flipping through this while talking to you guys. Jerry's better at doing some of these things than I am because I'm not that tech savvy. I mean, I do a fair good job of operating a system, but if the system is not working properly, sometimes, or holy Christmas, sorry, but there's the actual recipe for the chicken salad. I'm gonna read it, and you guys can try to follow along. But it's for 2 people, or 2 servings worth. It is half of a cabbage, thinly shredded, We didn't shred it. We sliced it very thinly. Half a cup of Swiss cheese diced. Basically, you dice it in bite-sized pieces. A handful of dill fronds or dill. You basically can take, get your dill and shred it or pull it apart, or you just leave it whole, depending on how you want to do it. Not very many people like eating actual dill. 2 tablespoons Dijon mustard, juice of a lemon, 2 tablespoons honey, 2 tablespoons canola oil, salt and pepper to taste, basically, and 8 ounces worth of skinless chicken meat. Now, it could be meat on the bone without the skin. It could be chicken cutlets that you grill like I did. But you combine the cabbage, the cheese, and the dill in a salad bowl. Whisk together the mustard, lemon juice, honey, and oil in a small bowl. Add the salad and toss. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Serve on top of the chicken. You can either put it on top of the chicken or on the side of the chicken. It's, for those of you who are interested in the calories, it's 570 calories, 577 calories, 39 grams worth of protein, 35 grams worth of carbohydrates, 7 grams worth of fiber, 31 grams worth of fat, 7 grams of saturated fat, and 802 milligrams worth of sodium. I will try to type this into the description before I publish it. If for some reason after I publish it I forget to put the recipe down in the description box, just harp at me about it because I forgot. There's a lot of things that I've got to try to do today. We got to finalize the unpacking of the van because we didn't get to it last night. We've got to put away our clean clothes. Daily chores. Clean, put away clothes, wash clothes, put away stuff from the travel. But we have a number of things to do, and I got to go back to work tomorrow, so I got to try to get as much done today as possible. If not all of it, I would like to get all of it done, but it depends on not just how functional Jerry-Ann is, because she's been having some gum issues and knee issues. And I think the knee issues is from she decided, well, it's kind of a combination of she decided and I was just not there for driving. That in fact, she literally said she'd prefer me there as a navigator and a second pair of eyes than a driver, because I'm the type of driver where if I don't know where I'm going and you start to confuse me while I'm driving, it causes psychological issues for me. And yeah, that's all on me, so I don't blame anybody for that. But she doesn't push in a way some people can be pushy. She's there to help you. She's there to help me. She nudges me along when I need to be nudged. She's not that what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, excuse me. She's not bossy. She doesn't get irate. She is actually more calm and cool and collective than most people I know. So that's one of the things that I try to get across to some people, because the fact that some people think that the way she the way she talks to me sometimes on camera is, or more like my reaction to some of the things she says seems a little harsh or offstandish. I don't know how you want to put it, but no, um, she is not, the person a lot of people think she is. This One of the things I found out last night is she is willing to try eating the foods from this book. In fact, let's see if I can do this. Oop, wrong side, wrong side, wrong side. See all these new pink colored tabs? These are foods that we've talked about, that we've read out of this book, that she wants to try because they sound interesting. All the yellow tabs are from me and Mom. There's one green tab in here for me to go back to as a reference point because of what it says in here. And I'm just going to read it real quick. Here we go. This is where it is. It says here that I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to quote it. Basically, it's telling you if you're still hungry after a full portion, to augment the meal with adding more vegetables. Instead of basically adding vegetables. What is it? Vegetables, rice. Basically, adding a filler, something that's basically low GI. And that's not gastro, that's glucose. And they basically say it's okay to basically, if you want to save room for a dessert, that is okay to add room for the dessert. They're not saying don't have a dessert. Just they want you to eat more of the vegetable and protein than the sugary stuff like desserts. And basically, it's saying if you want to pack a lunch because of work or school for your kids, it says pile up the vegetables. Stay away from prepared white carbs like rice salad. I don't know what they mean by rice salad, but don't skip on the protein, fish, meat, eggs, so on. Chickpeas and other legumes are good for low GI carb to enjoy. Again, GI in this book is not gastro, it's glucose. And basically saying drink water with every meal. One of the things I've learned from that book is they want you to get used to living a healthier lifestyle via your foods. Because foods can be fun and interesting, and they can be good, and depending on the food itself, or what it was, or how it was made, or what it was made with, depends on the benefits of the healthy lifestyle. Now, I made a dish which I'd love to try to make for Jerry, and it calls for red grapes. Basically, it calls for you to make a batch of long grain, whole kernel rice, such as wild rice or balsamic. I think I said that right. Or jasmine rice, not the pre-made, preset, boil in a bag style rice, or instant, what we call instant rice, which is anything that was boiled. Mom has a bag of the balsamic rice, and it's a whole grain rice. Basically, it's that long, almost like that Asian rice that they use for the sticky rice at most Asian restaurants. That's not boiled. That's steamed. It's cooked in such a way that it basically makes the rice almost gummy. And I think that's why they call it sticky rice. I used that with, it said, I can't remember how many grapes it was, but it was red grapes cut in half with mint leaves. And you got to mix that together and serve it on the side with chicken and some other kind of side dish that they told you to make. Sour cucumbers. Basically, you boil up some. You take English cucumbers, slice them up in the bite-sized bits, and then boil some apple cider vinegar with dill in it, and then pour that over the cucumbers. It was an interesting flavor. I enjoyed it. Mom wasn't too keen on the sour or pickled cucumber. Yeah, each to our own. But we've been making, Jerry and I last night basically looked at the first week in this book, and I'll just show it to you. Those of you who have not bought this book yet, I'm not trying to promote you to go buy it. I'm just telling you about the book. But besides giving you the science and whatnot behind the authors, 3 different people who come from 3 different backgrounds, and all 3 of them are in the medical profession of one form or another. One person is the head of the Department of Nutrition and Sports, Exercise and Sports at the Facility of Science in Copenhagen. The other person is a professor who did research on the glucose or glycemic index. She's also 3 different books. Then the third person is head of research in Denmark on nutrition. Yeah. And has done several different Danish television programs on healthy living. So I'm going to have to say, obviously, these 3 people know what they're talking about when they put this book together. But right before they get to the recipes, they give you 4 weeks worth of meal planning. So you have an idea of how to do healthy lifestyle. So yesterday, all those new pieces of markers are recipes that Jerry thought that she would enjoy and wants to try. Now, there's a couple of them in there that we marked that I haven't even tried yet, so it will be a new experience for me as well. Excuse me. Anyhow, I'm happy that Jerry's wanting to try this. I'm happy that she's reading the recipes and asking me to describe to her the actual recipe, like what the ingredients are. So it's kind of like, okay, she is willing to be on board. And granted, the 4 weeks worth of food or recipes here are they're 4 weeks. Now, there are some days from week 1 and then week 2 that are the same recipe, which is basically them saying you can mix and match your recipes. You can take and look at the recipes and choose which ones you're going to have for what day. So I'm hoping that here in the next 24 to 48 hours, Jerry and I can sit down and talk about a meal plan, like create our own meal plan. Now, Joanne has expressed I wouldn't say dislike, but she's not one to make plans. Now, I understand some of the reason why, and some of the reason why is because of she's more of a spontaneous, fly by the seat of your pants type person. I'm more of a structured, I need to know what's going on from day to day, so I don't go into either a panic, or B, I'm just going to be lazy. There's no plans. There's nothing written down what I need to do, or there's no desire to do it, but no idea of what I'm doing. So I kind of get lazy and complacent. I think that's the right word, complacent. I just get that, like, I don't know what I'm doing today, so I'm just going to sit here until somebody tells me what to do. And it's not really laziness, because there are times where it's like I wake up and I have nothing written down, but I realize that I've got to do X, Y, and Z. Laundry, pickup, cleaning, folding, cooking, that kind of thing. It's the small details that kind of, like, sometimes if I have an idea of what I'm doing for the day, the small details just kind of fall in place. I know that I realize now, as I'm getting older, that doesn't happen that often. And that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to get a lifestyle or a pattern down where I don't have to worry about the minor details. The other thing, about me is, I learned a long time ago, if I don't have a written set of things that I need to do for the day, and it doesn't matter what order they get done, as long as those things get done for the day, one, I feel a little bit more accomplished, because of the fact I can sit there and literally check off things that I've done and go, oh, yeah, had a full day. Things got done. We got a lot of things accomplished. As for Jerry, because of her old job in New York, working with the clientele that she had to work with, because of their handicaps, she feels that creating a flow chart, or a schedule, or however you want to put it, a meal plan, however you want to put it, she feels like she's back dealing with those kind of people, which is kind of like, hun, this shouldn't be too big of a deal, because you dealt with it on a regular basis. Well, I don't know. I don't know her full reason behind it. I just know that it makes her feel kind of like, not in the past, but kind of like in a situation she enjoyed doing the job. I can't say she had any problems with dealing with people with handicaps, but she just doesn't think, or maybe it makes her feel like if she does this kind of stuff, these kind of plans and lists and whatnot, makes her feel like she's got a handicap, which I can definitely say she doesn't have a mental handicap, but sometimes, because of her back and her knees, which are legitimate medical issues, it makes her feel like she's got a handicap, which I don't see as a bad thing. I just see it as something you have to learn to work with, or work through, or work around. I know for me, with my knee that's going bad and my back that's gone bad, I just have to push through as best as I can to do what I have to do. Now, I know things around the house, the chores and whatnot around the house, are at your own pace. Basically, you can do it at your own pace, and take breaks when you feel you have to take breaks. But in a job outside the home, where you're not in full command of what you do and when you do it and how you do it, sometimes you just have to basically push through the aches and pains. Now, I know because my job is a little bit more physical and it has a lot more adrenaline pumping moments, that a lot of times I don't feel the physical aches and pains until later on that evening. Usually about the time I get home, I start to feel it and go, yeah, okay, I need icy hot and some Advil. Now, it's one of those things where I have to do what I have to do to help me along. Jerry can do what she needs to do to help her along. Mom does what she needs to do to help herself along. We are 3 different people living in a home, and all 3 of us have different energy levels, different strengths, different weaknesses, different tolerances, and different ways of thinking and doing stuff. Now, that just made that worse. I do what I can to help Jerry out. I do what I can to help Mom out. Mom is trying to do what she can to help us out, and we're trying to do what we can to help Mom out. Now, Mom's 78, 79, somewhere around there. I'm trying to do the math real quick. She was born in 45. Yeah, she's up there in the 70s somewhere. And she is starting to show signs of I'm trying to think of the medical term. She's starting to show signs of early dementia and Alzheimer's. Now, the reason why we say early is because her mom and aunt did not show signs of Alzheimer's or anything like that until, well, if Grandma would have been alive still, Grandma would have been well around 100 years old. So no, it's about that time. It's about that age where the 2 family members we know of that had Alzheimer's or dementia started showing signs of it. Yeah, the reason why I said 100 for my grandma is because, yeah, Grandma would have been close to 100. The one aunt that survived to be 99 and a half, almost 100 years old, would have probably seen 100 years of age if she had not fallen and cracked her hip in California. The other great aunt, my great aunt, my mom's aunt, she ended up in a nursing home, and the last time we saw her before she passed away, she did not recognize anybody, and her mindset returned to her youth when they lived in Germany, so everything was either spoken in German or the only words that I ever heard when I last saw her were wunderbar, which is basically German for wonderful. Everything was basically wunderbar. She was an interesting old lady. I say that with not only pride and joy, but she was an interesting one. She was one of 3 sisters, basically. I don't even remember when the other sister passed away or what from, but yeah. So, Mom's mental status comes and goes. She keeps herself very busy with projects that she's been wanting to do for years, which is everything from paint by numbers to just knitting. Now, knitting is a little hard for mom because her hands are getting, she's got carpal tunnel from years of being a medical transcriptionist. She's, her joints are basically getting stiff from arthritis and carpal tunnel. She's, she pushes through the pain to do what she wants to do, and then she does her best to push through the pain to do other things that, not that she doesn't want to do, but she's like, she tries to help out with house cleaning and stuff like that. And not that I try to minimize her physical activity, but I don't expect mom to clean up after us. I try to do the best to clean up after us. Not always capable of doing it, or not capable, but more like forgetful, or I just get too wrapped up in other things. Jan, like I said, she does her best. She has back issues and knee issues. Knee issues. One knee is because of some torn meniscus that almost caused her. It got septic and almost, it put her in the hospital for a day or so they can monitor her and put her in a PICC line and all that fun stuff. The other knee went bad years before I even met her because of, playing softball with when she was a kid, playing sports and whatnot with her, basically playing around, being a combination of a teenager who was like, I'm indestructible, and she was a very active person. Her back is just, I don't know exactly what she did to her back, but it's been going slowly. My back, I basically herniated a lower lumbar trying to lift the box the wrong way. Really smart, Jim. But yeah, I was that person who, because of all the things I did as a kid that could have broken bones or anything like that, I thought I was indestructible until between my back and my foot. So yeah, we learn lessons the hard way. That's not only just human nature, but my family, the Hensons, we're a stubborn lot of people who are like, I prefer to learn the hard way than the smart way. That's the way I was until I met Jerry. That and the factor, the one thing that I'm trying to change, because it's not a very good mindset or attitude, is basically, if I can't do it myself, why do it? Because I grew up, granted I was an only child, but I grew up in a military environment where it's like, if you can't do it yourself, or you can't get your team to help you do it, it might not be worth doing because it could cause problems. That and the fact that my father was if you can't do it yeah, if you can't do it my way, no. Dang it, I lost it. I finally lost it. Oh, yeah, dad's whole thing was, if you, nope, I lost it. I really did. Something about do it yourself. Oh, if you want it done the right way, do it yourself. That was his whole attitude, which did not work well between me and Jerry. So, yeah, I've changed that. I try to do it as best as I can, the way she wants me to do it. But she also has realized that if I can't see how to get from point A to point B, or if I can see the final product, but the method for me to get to that final product is not the same as her method to get to that final end point, we end up having issues. So I'm trying to learn to sit down, listen to what she wants, try to see how she wants to be done, and then we sit there and sometimes go, look, I hear I hear and understand what you want done, but it would be easier for me if I did it this way. And sometimes she'll be like, well, you might run into problems if you do it that way. So we're learning. We've started to adapt and learn to work side by side, I guess you say. Try to see each other's method. Now I understand because of the fact that her father was good with his hands, good with woodworking, good with doing certain things, that she has a better understanding on how to do it than I do. But sometimes because of the factor of the angles or the tools, or I have to let her sit there and go, well, if I do it your way, it's going to be hard for me to do it because of the angle or because of this or because of that. But if I do it this way, it will be easier on me because of the angles or the devices or whatever. So we're learning to communicate instead of get frustrated. Well, for me, I get frustrated easily. So it's kind of like one of those, you have to listen to each other to understand each other. And that was the thing that I had to deal with the week before going to get Jerry, because Mom was having decorative issues with the living room and how the house is set up. And I had to listen to what Mom was saying, and I had to sit there and either try my best to explain the reason why it is the way it is, and then call Jerry and talk to Jerry about it. And Jerry said, we'll sit down and talk about it and see if we can come up with satisfactory compromises from all parties. So, and that's basically what I was telling Mom. I said, Mom, you can't let it build up. You have to come out and talk to us. You can't just get frustrated and then one day, when we're gone or something like that, rearrange the whole house. It's one of my biggest fears is one of these years me and Jerry are going to be gone to go to Texas or wherever without Mom, because Mom doesn't want to go to Texas. There's no reason for her to go down there. But I'm afraid that one day she's going to have an episode and throw all the stuff she doesn't like out or something along those lines. So I'm starting to realize that I might not be, well, Jerry or I might have to be at the house while the other person's gone for whatever period of time for whatever reasons. And that means either A, Jerry has to drive by herself, or B, we can only be out of the house for 3 or 4 days at a time, leaving Mom alone. I just hope it doesn't get to the point where Mom needs a medical person or somebody in the house all the time for her care. It's something I don't look forward to, but at this point in time, the expense for a medical person to be here all the time would be too high. And I don't have that much experience dealing with people with these issues. Jerry Ann does. So I'm just hoping and praying that when the day comes, we can deal with the situation. Anyhow, I have rambled on for way too long, as usual. Later on today or tomorrow morning will be a Bible verse. So look forward to that. I will hopefully remember to put the recipe and whatnot in the description box below. So, like I said, if I don't have that on there by the time this gets published, just send me a friendly reminder. So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box. If you're not a subscriber and you desire to listen to me ramble on more some other time in the future, or if you've watched other videos from the past and you enjoyed them, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. A little bell will pop up, and you can click on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in my next video. So until next time, have a good day. God bless. Bye.